To the channel, and today we're doing the adventure week on Pokemon Go, which is just started about 3 or 4 days ago now on Pokemon Go. Lasts another week or so, and it will also have loads of different events involved in that period as well, so we'll mention those as well on the video in a bit as we're walking around. But as you can see immediately from being on the stream, the spawns aren't actually as good as previous years, with all the dinosaur Pokemon or the fossil Pokemon normally out and about. This year it's a little bit different, and we'll deep dive into that and why it's so different compared to the last few years in a bit as well. But thanks very much for joining us. Let's hope we can get some shinies on this stream as we talk about this adventure week, and we go for a little wander around trying to get some of these fossil Pokemon. So let's just have a quick look and see what events we've got in. Event tasks, so we've got hatch an egg and explore 2 kilometers, which is good. Both of those tasks are the boosted shinies, so in this whole event, just bear with me 2 seconds. A little bit of background noise there, sorry, I'll just walk past that. But yeah, so as I was just about to say, in this whole event, the dinosaur Pokemon, the fossil Pokemon that we all love to see in this adventure week are the likes of Tyrunt, Amaura, Cranidos, Tortuga, Archon, and a few more as well. Unfortunately, all those are locked behind research tasks. Very, very rarely I've seen Tyrunt spawn in the wild, and I've not yet seen more of this event, but most of the decent Pokemon that are supposed to be about during the adventure week, this year they've changed it. They're locked in research tasks, unfortunately. So that means, although the shiny odds are boosted, instead of being full odds 1 in 512, they are boosted to 1 in 64, which means you do have a better chance of getting them shiny in terms of odds, but you're going to see a lot less of them during the event. And the hatch an egg task and the explore 2 kilometer task, they are the tasks that are guaranteed to be those boosted shinies. So the 6 boosted shinies of the event: Cranidos, Amaura, Tyrunt, Archon, Archon and Tortuga, and there's one more I can't quite remember. Somebody will probably put it in the comments below. But there's 6 boosted shinies during this event, and hopefully we're going to get one live on stream today, hopefully through one of these tasks. So hatch an egg, let's see how close we are to hatching our next egg. So only 0.8 kilometers to hatching one of the eggs. Also, these dinosaur Pokemon, these boosted dinosaur Pokemon, as well as being locked behind the research tasks, they're also in 7k eggs, which you obviously can obtain quite easily through opening gifts when you've got egg space free. So definitely worth doing that. But it is a little bit annoying, especially if you are trying to do free to play or not use as many incubators like I am. Then doing these research tasks, especially with hatch an egg, if you've got to hatch an egg and you've got 3 of those research tasks in, just to get 3 encounters of the boosted shinies takes you 7 kilometers of walking, which is a bit disappointing, unless obviously you've got a 2k or 5k again. But like I say, 7ks are probably the most beneficial egg to be hatching during this event. So compared to last year, all these dinosaur Pokemons that I've just mentioned were in the wild. They weren't boosted, but it was really nice to see them all in the wild. Adventure Week is normally one of my favourite weeks throughout the year on Pokemon Go, and I thought this year would be a lot better than this. I must admit, the wild spawns seem to be quite disappointing. We are getting Kabuto and Omanyte, as you can see here, in the wild, and obviously Drillbur, which again has its spotlight hour tomorrow, which will be really, really good actually, because it is catch 2 XP during the hour, as well as obviously Drillbur being a super useful Pokemon in terms of raids, especially now its shadow form is out on the game as well. So Shadow Drillbur and Shadow Excadrill especially are absolute beasts in the ground and steel typing, so it's definitely worth getting some XL candy for them. And while we're here as well, we'll just do a Mega Evolution so that we can hopefully get some more XL candies today while we're walking around, and get some more for those Drillburs. Drillbur being a ground type, so let's do a Steelix. We'll do this shiny 96 max Mega one here, and that will give us the best chance to get those additional Candy XL as we're walking around. So there you go, Steel and Ground is Mega Steelix, which means we will get those additional Candy XL from catching any Steel or Ground types, which is going to be decent with the likes of Drillbur in the wild and with how useful it is, as I've just explained. So let's turn on performance mode so we can hopefully stop any lag before it develops, and that should keep the stream okay for you lot watching at home or wherever you are. Make sure to like and subscribe if you've not already. Getting close to 900 subscribers now, which is absolutely amazing. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Hopefully we can get to 1,000 before the end of the year. That would be really, really nice if we can. And as I said, Drillbur Spotlight Hour tomorrow, 6 PM till 7 PM here in the UK. And obviously wherever you are, local time. And we will be doing a live stream for that tomorrow, so keep an eye out for my channel. Roughly speaking, in around about 26 hours time, we'll be going live for that Drillbur Spotlight Hour. A little bit of lag. So yeah, as you can see, the event spawns, as I was talking about before, not really that good. When you start to think of Adventure Week, you think of dinosaurs, you think of fossil Pokemon, Kabuto, Omanyte, Tyrunt, Amaura, Cranidos, but it's very disappointing to see none of those appearing. As with previous years, like I was saying, they were in the wild, but the shiny odds were full odds, so it's 1 in 512. But at least you could actually go around and catch them and getting some XL candy for those Pokemon, especially with how useful they are. Obviously a few of these fossil Pokemon now have got their shadows already. The likes of Cranidos have already got their shadow Pokemon out of the game, and a few more get added in the next couple of weeks, including the leaders. So 2 of the leaders will have fossil Pokemon as the Pokemon that you can get shiny. So I'm not yet sure which leaders, so it's either going to be Arlo, Cliff or Sierra, which will have Archon and Tortuga as their Pokemon. So which 2 leaders have those 2 Pokemon in their groups, and therefore you can get shiny is yet to be known, but hopefully we'll find out in the next week or so. The rocket event coming this next week, so it starts in a couple of days time, towards the end of this week, and obviously this weekend as well we've got another event coinciding with this event, and that is the Lugia raid weekend. So Shadow Lugia will return on level 5 legendary raids, on level 5 Shadow legendary raids should I say, and it won't be in the format of any raid day or anything like that. It'll be very similar to how it's appeared in the past, and obviously we've had the likes of Mewtwo raid weekends as well and Ho-Oh raid weekends. It'll be in the same format. It'll just be a case of it can appear anywhere, anytime. It's a case of getting a group together. It's going to need probably at least 4 or 5 trainers to take down Shadow Lugia with gems, of course. So you need 8 gems to subdue it, should I say, sorry. So halfway through a raid battle you'll need to subdue it, so you can take it down a lot easier, and you'll need 8 gems, 8 purified gems to get them. And how you get purified gems, if you don't already know, doing the rocket stops gets you 1 shadow shard. Put 4 shadow shards together and you get a purified gem, and you can hold a maximum of 10 purified gems in your storage at any one time. But on a shadow raid you can only use a maximum of 5. Even if you've got more than 5 in your storage, you can only use a maximum of 5, and that's just to stop anybody from soloing or trying to solo the level 5 shadow raids. It means that you've got to do most shadow raids, most legendary shadow raids should I say, if not all of them, will have to have a minimum of 2 people to take it down. Shadow Suicune, which is currently on August weekends on raids, can be taken down with 2 trainers. I was doing a few yesterday, unfortunately no shiny, but it can be taken down with 2 trainers. But Lugia will probably be a lot more bulky than that from remembering last time, and therefore you'll need a few more trainers to take it down. And also with more trainers you have also got the chance that you're not going to use as much gems, which means you can do more raids as well, so that's always a benefit. So let's start a route. We'll do across the tops as we're talking, and hopefully we could start doing some of these research tasks that we've got in. We mustn't be far away from our egg hatching now. Let's just give that a quick check. 6.9 out of 7, so very, very close with that egg hatching now. There we go, just as we were talking about it, it hatched, and it's an Archon, so no shiny. 1022, 3-star, but not a brilliant 3-star, unfortunately going to a professor, and we'll check to see what these tasks are now. Amaura. Obviously, like I was saying, these tasks are guaranteed to be 1 in 64 shiny odds. Another Amaura, still no white Amaura at this moment in time. Let's just catch a few of these wild spawns. These apparently Adventure Week wild spawns, should I say. My buddy's got a gift. So currently doing for Coco's second evolution as a buddy. Haven't actually evolved one of these all the way yet, so I'm still waiting for its community day, of which, with it being a starter Pokemon, it will be guaranteed to get one at some point. So with it being a hundo that I've currently got as my buddy, I'm waiting to get the legacy community day move, which with it being a fire type and with it being a fire starter Pokemon, Most fire starting Pokemon have had Blast Burn as their legacy move, so I fully expect that one to get the same legacy move in the upcoming community day, whenever that will be. Obviously this end of August we've got the August community day, and that is Poplio, so that's a water type starter Pokemon. So hopefully it won't be too long until we get for Coco. Maybe before Christmas, maybe just after, we'll have to wait and see. They're definitely a lot slower in bringing out these starter Pokemon as community days nowadays. Years gone by, it used to be all the starter Pokemons. It didn't really used to be much else. We had the odd things like Beldum and Bagon. Obviously June has always been a Dragon community day, but it was mainly the starter Pokemon. But now it seems to be a lot more spread out with the community days. Tyrunt off a task, walk 2 kilometers, and it's 683 CP, 3-star, but again, still not good enough to keep. So we'll get rid of that one as well. We'll just have to have a sip of my drink. So let's catch my chop. My chop's actually not a bad one to do an excellent throw on. It's quite a nice, excellent throw. So we've got a few stops over here which we can pick up, and we'll only get the tasks, and we'll only keep the tasks in, should I say, if you are hatch an egg or walk 2 kilometers, because like I say, they are the boosted tasks of this event. All the other tasks aren't really that decent. There's spin 10 Pokestops, which can be Drillbur. Did manage to get a shiny Drillbur off that one, although shiny Drillbur is not boosted during the event. It is 1 in 512 odds, and that will be the odds of getting it shiny during the spotlight hour tomorrow. So it will remain 1 in 512 odds tomorrow. But like we're saying, make sure to Mega Evolve a ground type, and you'll get more XL candy throughout the spotlight hour for Drillbur. So let's see what stop this is. Oh, we've just picked up an egg as well. Forgot to put another 7k again, open a gift. So we've got 2 sat on 2.4, one's 4.7. We'll get another one in on the free incubator, and then when these 3 hatch, we'll replace them with 7Ks. Obviously, before the event finishes, you can always stock up on 7Ks. They'll still have the chance of being shiny, the increased chance of being shiny on those 7Ks. It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to hatch them, as long as you've got them stacked in your egg space, they'll still have the increased 1 in 64 shiny odds. So you could just take your time, use your free incubator, and work your way through them once it gets close to the end of the event. As for now, when you hatch them, make sure you don't do what I've just done. Make sure you open a gift straight after hatching an egg to replace it with another 7k to have that increased shiny chance. So coming up to the end of the route. Dunsparce, not really a fossil type Pokemon that I want to be getting during this event, but still yet to have Dunsparce's evolution. If you don't know, in one of the Nintendo Switch games that was released in the last couple of years, Dunsparce could evolve, but it was something ridiculous like 1 in 500 chance. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but it was something ridiculous where if you caught a Dunsparce, it only had a 1 in 500 chance or something along those lines of actually evolving, and that evolved into a 3-segment Dunsparce instead of being a 2-segment Dunsparce. So I would fully expect them to implement the same sort of mechanics as the tandem mouse. Obviously tandem mouse family of 3. You have to be completely lucky when evolving tandem mouse to get a Marshall that has a family of 3. The most common one is a family of 4, and that has 1 in 100 odds of being family of 3. So that is going to be a really hard one to get. So what is this research task that we just picked up here? Defeat 3 Team Go Rocket Grunt. So we'll leave that one. We'll keep our hatch and egg in. Hopefully we'll be able to get more hatch and eggs down here when we start getting towards the stops again. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are of this adventure week. A little bit disappointed with it myself, but let me know in the comments below. Are you happy that the shinies have been increased? Are you wanting any particular fossil shiny and therefore you're hatching loads of 7k eggs? Or are you quite disappointed, especially if you've already got the shinies before, are you quite disappointed that they aren't just there in the wild to catch, so you can get the XL candies for the likes of Cranidos, Shieldon, Tyrunt, Amaura, Archon and Tortuga? Those are the 6 that have been boosted. It's very disappointing not to see them in the event. Now there is a little way in which you can increase your chances of seeing Tyrunt or Amaura in the wild, and we're going to do it right now, and that is to use the Necrozma. So if you did Necrozma raids, and especially on the Sunday of the Go Fest where the Dustmane and Dawnwings Necrozma were out, then you would have got one of these after you'd fused it with Necrozma. And this Pokemon, the Dustmane one, comes with an adventure effect called Sunsteel Strike, and with that we can have, it works a bit like an incense, and we're going to run it for 10 minutes, and basically it spawns a Pokemon, a guaranteed Pokemon every minute if you're standing still. Might spawn a few extra Pokemon if you're walking. We'll see how many we catch in this 10-minute window. But unlike the daily incense, it doesn't come up with a little window at the end after it's ran out at what you've caught using it. But as you can see, the aura going around the avatar is quite cool actually. And that's the same aura that will surround the Pokemon that spawn off the adventure effect as well. But Tyrunt can appear if you do the Duskmane one like we've done here, and Amaura can appear if you use the Dawnwings one, which is a fusion between Lunala and Necrozma. So depending on which shiny you want, it might be quite a good idea to put these on and see if you can get any Tyrunt or Amaura spawns, because like I was saying, they are boosted 1 in 64 shiny chance. So let's see how many Tyrunt we get in this 10-minute window, if we get any at all. Quite a weird wild spawn. A Alolan Executor spawning off the adventure effect. So you can see there the little symbol that it has. It's got the weather boosted symbol obviously, but next to it you can see the Sunsteel Strike symbol. So you can tell that the Pokemon's appeared off the adventure effect. And there we go, we've caught it. 2,693 CP on that Alolan Executor Omanyte appearing in the wild. So the only decent thing that's spawned in the wild in terms of things that are actually useful in raids, there's Rock and Roller, which isn't super useful nowadays. It did have a community day many years ago, and it sort of got a bit useful for a short period of time, but nowadays it's fell back down the pecking order again, even with its legacy move that it got given during community day, which I think was Meteor Bash or Meteor Smash or something like that. But even with its legacy move, it's definitely fallen down the order. So the only decent Pokemon appearing in the wild at this moment in time is Drillbur during the event. And like I was saying, Shadow Drillbur, Shadow Excadrill, really useful as a ground and steel type, so definitely worth trying to get a good one of those off the rocket stops, and then you can power it up using all the XL that you get during this event, and obviously tomorrow's Spotlight Hour, of which we'll be live for. Wild Eevee, Yungoos, not very exciting spawns in the wild. A few more kilometres until the next egg hatches. Hopefully we can get to a couple of these stops before it does and refill these research tasks, either with hatch an egg or walk 2 kilometres. So Moltres is back on raids. It is soloable, Moltres, if you've got a decent squad of Rampardos, especially if you've got a decent squad of Shadow Rampardos, but normal Rampardos, 6 normal Rampardos maxed out to level 50 can do the job. But currently in windy weather, flying types are boosted, so therefore Moltres will be boosted with it being fire and flying, and therefore it makes it a lot more harder to do a solo. So we won't be doing a solo live on stream today, but hopefully in the next couple of days I'll be able to record a video doing a solo Moltres raid, so make sure to stick around on the channel for that in the next couple of days. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss when I upload that video. But we'll definitely try and do it in the next couple of days. Moltres is about until the 10th of August, so we've got a few more days yet of it appearing. Hopefully we'll be able to get the right weather conditions where we can do that solo. And then on Mega Raids with Mega Aerodactyl, which does make sense with it being a fossil Pokemon. It's one of the only other fossil Pokemons that are actually appearing in the wild, Aerodactyl, albeit quite rare, but still not as rare as the Tyrunt. But Aerodactyl, Mega Aerodactyl is featured on the Mega Raids at the moment. And again, haven't yet soloed a Mega Aerodactyl. I don't believe I have yet on the YouTube channel. So again, boosted at the moment with flying, with being a flying and rock type. So once the windy weather is gone, we'll try and give that a solo. It will be very close on that one, so it's definitely worth a watch to see if we can do it. Let's just see what this rocket stop is. Coiled and ready to strike, so we might as well try and do this, and we'll start picking up some of these research tasks on these stops down here and see if we can get anything decent off the research tasks. So Reshiram absolutely annihilating the Shadow Fungus, then it's Shadow Nidorina in a second, and what is sat in the last place, we'll get our charge move, a Fusion Flare. So Weezing sat at last place, so we'll use Fusion Flare and just get this rocket over and done with. Need a second one. There we have it. So you'll see after this we get a guaranteed Shadow Shard from doing this. Like I was saying before, 4 Shadow Shards you need to combine and you'll make a Purified Gem. and the other ones that you can use at weekend for Shadow Lugia when that gets released. So as I was saying, it has already been about once before, I believe, Shadow Lugia raid weekend. Obviously Ho-Oh has also been about before in the past, so I fully expect us to get Shadow Ho-Oh raid weekend next month, with us having Lugia this month. But there is also, not this weekend, but a weekend afterwards, there is also another event. Believe it or not, these events keep to seemingly coming round quicker and quicker each time. But there is another classic community day. We're not sure yet what the actual Pokemon is that's going to be featured during that classic community day, but we'll have to keep an eye out over the next couple of days, and hopefully something will be announced. Hopefully might be something quite useful that we can get some XL candies for, or obviously those shinies, 1 in 25 on community days, so hopefully we'll be able to get quite a few of the shinies, whatever it is. So as I was saying, there's effectively 3 different events happening during the Adventure Week. So we have the Adventure Week as what it is now, with the rather disappointing wild spawns, but the boosted shiny chances of those 6 fossil Pokemon that I mentioned before in research tasks and in 7k eggs. Then on the 8th of August to the 12th of August, we have the Rocket Takeover, which will see Cranidos appearing on 1-star Shadow Rocket raids, which will be really, really nice. Definitely be doing a few of them to try and get a decent Shadow Cranidos. And then it will also see, it will follow in nicely into the 10th and 11th of August, which is a Saturday and Sunday this coming week. And that is the Lugia raid weekend. So effectively 3 events all happening at the same time when it gets to this weekend. And that will see the Adventure Week off with a bit of a bang. Hopefully we can start seeing some more shinies when we get towards the weekend, especially in those Shadow raids, those Shadow Lugia raids. We have already got a Shadow Shiny Lugia before. Let's just check that out. Yeah, we have managed to get one before, not a very good one at all, only a 1-star on the RVs. But when you're catching this, as you can see there, October last year was when it last got featured during the raid weekend. But from memory, the last time it was about, it was super difficult to try and catch once defeating, because as with all Shadow Pokemon, they just constantly keep moving. So to try and catch it was an absolute nightmare. So make sure to use those Nanab berries, those bananas, and it will stop the Pokemon from moving about if you are struggling on catching it. Obviously Golden Raspberry is the way to go to have the best chance of catching it, but if you're not quite confident on hitting it every time, then it's definitely worth using those Nanabs, and then at least it will stop the Pokemon from moving, and then you have a better chance of catching it if you can't quite time it right. So explore 2 kilometers, let's see what this one is. Catch 10 Pokemon, so still no decent task at this moment in time. So we'll start heading back up the road now. So we are next to the main road, so I apologise for the background noise. We'll start heading back up now. And while we're just going back the way we came, we can do our leader battles with our buddy to get our free hearts. If you don't already know, really easy way to get your hearts, the battling hearts with your buddy, is to do a leader battle with it and then just back out. As long as it's in the party, you'll get the hearts for it. You don't actually have to be using it. And as soon as it comes at a good effort, you can just back out. You can go in again. As you can see, I've already set my teams up to do it quicker. And with this, we'll get those battling hearts with our buddy very, very quickly. And we'll be able to pick up on the spawns on the way back up. So you can see we've done all our battle together hearts there, 6 of them in total, with us putting a poffin on our buddy just before I came on stream. So we're earning double the amount of hearts as normal, and that's obviously because we're walking around a bit, so I thought I might as well put a poffin on because I knew we were going to be doing a route as well. So Mega Aerodactyl's just hatched just above. We can try and see if anybody will join us. Send some invites out and hopefully somebody will join us. Been 10 Pokestops, like I say, that can be drawber, but it's no boosted shinies. So over the course of the last few days, since the adventure week's been on, I'll show you the shinies I've managed to get. For some weird reason, Porygon keeps shining for me. So I've had 2 shiny Porygons since the adventure week started, which is a little bit annoying. We did have a shiny Tyrunt in the wild as well, as you can see there, caught in the wild. So that was actually quite a decent Pokemon to find in the wild. As we were saying before, very, very rare find this event in the wild. We did have a Drillbur off one of the Spin 10 Pokestop challenges. We had a shiny Dunsparce, shiny Aerodactyl, and another shiny Drillbur. So 2 in 2 minutes this morning with the Aerodactyl and the Drillbur, both of them wild. So quite decent with that. Obviously Aerodactyl being a mega Pokemon has a 1 in 128 chance of appearing shiny in the wild. Used to be 1 in 64, but Niantic increased it to 1 in 128 around about a year ago now, and therefore any Pokemon that can mega currently in the game, so Altaria, Gengar, Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur and Aerodactyl all have a 1 in 128 chance when you see them in the wild of being shiny. So some of those do appear in the wild quite often. Gardevoir I've seen quite a few times. Bayonetti I've seen probably the most out of all of them. So we'll just pick up this stop here and the one above it, and then we'll see if anybody will join us on this Mega Aerodactyl raid. We've already done that task, so we might as well jump in and send some invites out and hopefully somebody will join us for it. So let's see who's online. So you can only send 5 invites out at this moment in time when you first go into a raid lobby, and then you have to wait around about 30 seconds and then it allows you to send another 5 more. So you can send a total of 10, as long as you're quite quick in sending the first 5 out. Hopefully we'll get somebody join us. We only need another 1, 2 should do it quite comfortably. Like I was saying before, you could probably solo it in the right weather conditions. We'll send some more out to them. And we'll see if we'll get any interest. So the best counters for Mega Aerodactyl, Primal Kyogre, by far the best one to use against it. Then you've got Shadow Raikou, Exertree, Dustmane Necrozma, of which we've got 2 of, and then Shadow Electivire, which we've also got sat there in the last place. So we've got another player join us. So I'm ready if they are, and hopefully we can take down this Mega Aerodactyl with just the 2 of us. That's if we don't leave. We'll keep an eye on, make sure we don't leave. Yeah, he's ready. So let's see how long this will take to take this down. Obviously we're not going to Mega Evolve our Groudon, our Kyogre this time round, because we've got our Steelix Mega Evolve, but we will just keep it as Kyogre. It has got Origin Pulse, which is the best move for Kyogre. It is a legacy moveset, so you do have to Elite Charge TM it if you haven't already got it on your Kyogres. So our friend's running Dialga Bar, looks like, in the background there. Not a bad counter, but it's probably recommended squad because steel types last quite a lot longer against this on the top counters, but we will do less damage. Shadow Raikou getting a few wild charges off before fainting out. Then we've got Exertree. Really do like Exertree as a Pokemon. Its shiny looks incredible, as does with most of the Ultra Beast shinies. Goes to like a very light blue colour. Does look really nice. Then we've got the Dustmane Necrozma. This one is shiny. Really cool animation. I've not actually used it in a battle yet, so that Sunsteel Strike animation that you've just seen there, you'll see it again in a second, flying up. Really cool animation. So 210 seconds of a clock, getting towards the 200 mark. And as you can see there across the field, he's also using a Dustmane Necrozma. So 195 seconds left into the yellow, so it should be quite a comfortable solo. Obviously with it being a mega, you do get 300 seconds, so 150 is the halfway point. So as long as you're on the yellow health at around about 160, you should do it quite comfortably, albeit taking into account obviously fainting out and reviving your squads, of which we're probably going to have to do here. There's our last Pokemon, Electivire. So Mega Aerodactyl will regain 5% of its health. So we'll quickly max revive our squad that we've set up for it. And we'll go straight in again with our Kyogre. Get a few of those Origin Pulses off. We're into the red, 140 seconds coming up now. Shadow Raikou. Really good electric type Shadow Raikou. Since its release, it's shot back up to #1 in the electric type rankings. So if you've not already got a decent one, make sure to try and get it the next time it comes around. Or if you have got a decent one, it's definitely worth getting rid of frustration in this next week's Rocket event, where you'll be able to TM away frustration, and then you can learn it Wild Charge, which is definitely its best move. So another Dustmane Necrozma should just finish off now. The last Sunsteel Strike. There it is. And it's fainted with 85 seconds left on the clock. So not too bad with the two others. 85 seconds left. 2 rare candies. 10,000 XP. 175 mega Aerodactyl candy. Energy, should I say. And 1930 is the CP. It's weather boosted, obviously with it being flying, so that's why it would have been a little bit harder to take down as well. But let's do golden raspberry, and first ball, excellent throw, stays in the ball. And 1930 is a 2-star, so unfortunately it's going to go in the bin, but that was today's free raid pass, so not too disappointed in that. It is an extra 10,000 XP to what I would have had today. And obviously with the excellent throw you get an extra 1,000 or so XP on top of that. So we'll catch a few of these wild spawns around here. And hopefully one of these stops just up ahead can drop us another decent research task. How far are the eggs away from hatching? So 0.7 kilometers until our next 7k egg hatches. We have got one hatch and egg task in. Let's see if we can get a second one or another walk 2 kilometers. Either one of those will do. Catch 10 rock type. Definitely don't want that one. Another drill boat, so we'll catch that. Slow poke, another one that's quite a nice, excellent throw to do. Hatch an egg there. Ideal, just in time for that. Another egg hatching in around about 0.7 kilometers. That's just ideal, picking up that task set. Hopefully we should be able to just hatch that egg before we finish the live stream. But like I was saying before, drill the spotlight hour tomorrow, 2 times catch XP, which would be really good if you got a lucky egg to use one of them as well during the event, which we'll be doing tomorrow live on stream. So if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell, and when we go live tomorrow in around about 25 hours approximately, 25 and a half hours, you'll be able to come and watch us live doing Drillbur Spotlight Hour. Hopefully be able to get another shiny Drillbur, and hopefully a decent one as well. We have got one decent shiny Drillbur, not shadow should I say, just shiny. So let's go shiny and Drillbur on the search. So we had this 93 shiny in the wild. Really happy about that. Super happy to get that in the wild. Straight away maxed it to level 50. And as you can see, 561 XL candy, so we can easily max another one. Obviously waiting for a decent shadow one. So you need 296 XL candy to max a normal Pokemon from level 40 to 50. But to max a shadow does take a few more. With it being shadow, it costs you more XL candy to max it out. So it instead takes 360 compared to 296. So you do have to find an extra 64 XL candy, but it's definitely worth it. The damage output increase of 20% from having a shadow is definitely worth that additional XL candy that you've got to try and find. And obviously spotlight hour tomorrow, we'll do a before and after look at how many XL candy we've got, and you'll be able to see how much we increased by in just the hour that we're playing. Like I said before, we'll have a max megad ground type, mega evolved during the hour as well, which means we'll get extra XL candy. So Goldeen appearing in Adventure Week, as well as Bunnelby. Really disappointing wild spores. I hope we go back to having the decent wild spores for next year's Adventure Week, because this year's Adventure Week does seem very disappointing with it, especially when the tasks are hatch an egg and walk 2 kilometers, a boosted task, and obviously boosted 7Ks. It's making you walk all the time, but if there's nothing good to go around walking after, you do sort of lose a bit of interest in going after those. Excellent throw on the draw bit. So unfortunately, just remembered, unfortunately we didn't get any Tyrunts from using that adventure effect with the Dustmane Necrozma. You can get Tyrunt off the Dustmane one, as I was mentioning before, and you can get Amaura on the Dawn Wings one, but unfortunately in a 10-minute window in what we put it on, we didn't get any of Tyrunt. But we did manage to get one Rockruff. I don't think it was one that could evolve into the Dusk. Just check that out. I've probably already deleted it. So even if it could, it's already gone to the preferred by now. Or it ran off. One or the other. Pseudo wood out. Explore kilometre. So very close to this egg hatching now. So once this egg hatches, we'll see what that research task is, we'll see what's in the egg, we'll get another egg in place, and then we'll finish the live stream for now. We'll be back tomorrow for another hour of live stream. So let's just do this rocket. Frozen in the tracks. Could be Swinub. It is a Swinub, so that's always a good one. Shadow Mammal Swine. One of the best ice types in the game, if not the best. And obviously, with it being Shadow and not Mega, means you can have a full squad of 6 of them if you're lucky enough to get that many decent Swinub off these Shadow Grunts. The second is a Lowland Ninetails, Fairy and Ice type, but Reshiram gets through it quite easily. And then we have Frostlass in the back, which is Snorunt's evolved form. Obviously, if you get a female Snorunt, you can evolve it either way into Glalie or Frostlass, but if you get a male Snorunt, you can only evolve it into Glalie. So another Shadow Shard vacancy, 4 out of 4. So we will gain a Purified Gem, and we've got 6 out of 6 components, so we'll get a Radar as well. So we can go after one of the leaders. So the leaders haven't, as of yet, got the new Shadow Pokemon. So the new ones are Timber, Archon and Tortuga, but they'll only appear on the Shadow leaders in the next couple of days. But as of now, it's still Machop. It's still Machop, Capnia and Trapinch as the leaders Pokemon so far. So Radar put together. We'll equip that Purified Gem, and we've got an egg hatching. So what is going to appear over this Purified Gem? It's a Tyrunt. So hatch and egg task is done. Not too bad of stats on the Tyrunt, unfortunately not got attack. So 10, 15, 15, missing 5, 89 RV, so it will go to a professor sadly. But there's our purified gem, and before we do the same mistake as we did last time, let's make sure to get another egg on. So let's open this gift from Malaysia. 7k egg, thank you very much. And we'll keep that 7k for now. We won't yet put it in the incubator because we don't want to time them so they hatch at the same time, just so we can get more hatching egg tasks and we don't have to wait too long in between them. But let's pick up these tasks and see what we've got before we finish the live stream. So we've got a Tortuga 601 CP. Don't know how good that is, but we'll check in a second. And we've got another Tortuga 619 CP, so definitely a lot better. So let's have a look and see how good these Tortugas was. 619 3-star, but a very rubbish 3-star. So 601 is nearly the floor. 10, 10, 10 being the floor. 10, 11, 11. So very, very bad in that respect. But I hope you've had fun watching the live stream. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are of the adventure week. If you're a bit disappointed, let me know what you would have liked to have seen. I definitely would have liked to have seen the boosted shinies in the wild, or at least have a better chance of being in the wild. Even if you weren't in the wild all the time, at least just make them a rare spawn that you can actually go hunting after. But to not have them in the wild at all is a little bit disappointing. Doesn't make going outside and hunting for these non-adventure week spawns very exciting at all. But let me know in the comments below what you think of the adventure week in 2024 compared to previous years if you've played. But thanks very much for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. As always, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on tomorrow's live event when we go live for Spotlight Hour. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.